USA Radio News with Rick Vincent.
Iran claims it seized a British-flagged vessel and a Liberian-flagged vessel in the Strait of Hormuz Friday, stepping up its actions in the Gulf region. President Trump spoke to reporters as he left the White House and says Iran can be easily handled.
Iran is showing their colors. Going to work out very nicely. Iran is in big trouble right now. Their economy is crashing. It's coming to a crash. They're trying to bring soldiers back home because they can't pay them. A lot of bad things are happening to them, and it's very easy to straighten out, or it's very easy for us to make it a lot worse.
The Liberian ship was quickly released, this just days after the U.S. downed an Iranian drone. The heat wave is being at least partially blamed for the death of a former NFL player. 32-year-old Mitch Petrus, who played offensive lineman for the New York Giants, died of heat stroke while working outside in his family shop Thursday. You're listening to USA Radio News. Protesters are demanding the resignation of Puerto Rico's Governor Ricardo Rosselló after leaked chats between him and his inner circle revealed profanity-laced, homophobic, and misogynistic messages about fellow politicians and members of the media. Democratic presidential candidate and former Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Julian Castro.
It's clear that Governor Rosselló can no longer be effective. I stand with Puerto Ricans who are protesting in the streets, his administration.
The governor has apologized for his language, but has refused to step down. One day ahead of the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing, President Trump welcomed two surviving astronauts, Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins, and other NASA officials to the White House. Aldrin disappointed with the current state of the space program.
Now we have a number one rocket right now in the U.S., and we have a number one spacecraft, and they cannot get into lunar orbit with significant maneuvering capability.
This is USA Radio News. Nearly 3,100 inmates will be released from prisons nationwide under the first major milestone of the First Step Act. Deputy Attorney General Jeff Rosen said the en masse release is possible because inmates' sentences were lightened under the criminal justice reform legislation signed into law by President Trump last year.
Prisoner assessment tool targeting estimated risk and needs will be used to screen all federal inmates to identify risk factors and identify evidence-based programs that are likely to reduce the risk of recidivism.
The largest number of inmates who will see immediate freedom were convicted of drug offenses, followed by weapons, explosive convictions, and sex offenses, according to justice officials. A deadly batch of heroin may have killed as many as 6 people in Mississippi in the last few days. Some officials say it may have included fentanyl. Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics Director John Dowdy says that mistake could easily be fatal.
It doesn't take but 1 microgram of fentanyl to kill somebody. And so if you have somebody that's purchasing a gram of fentanyl and ingesting, any part of that at one time, the chances of death are about 100%.
After a power outage left part of New York City in darkness for hours, a major heat wave has officials eyeing the city's electric grid. President of Con Edison, Timothy Cawley.
We've identified the cause of the relay miss operation. We've isolated those. We still have full and adequate protection for that area.
Last weekend's outage wasn't caused by excessive demand. For USA Radio News, I'm Rick Vincent.